So the NFL posted today on their website the top 10 games of the 2023 NFL seasons. And the Bengals, surprisingly enough, show up on two of the games on the Bengals schedule show up on this list. And to be honest, we talked about it before, but Cincinnati's probably going to have mainly every single game they can have primetime be primetime games because they're honestly that good. But with that being said, though, let's go and take a look at the top 10 top 10 games next year. Number 10, Texans at Carolina. For obvious reasons. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. The top two quarterbacks in the NFL now going head-to-head in Carolina to see which one is better. Now, keep in mind, though, that I don't know when we're going to see some of these games. Like, for example, this game right here will probably be week 1. Like, 99.9% chance this is a week 1 game. The main reason why is because last year we saw, when Baker Mayfield went back and played against, the Brownies. That was week 1. The reason why they do that is because they don't want, that the game's not going to matter in week 12, week 13, if both teams are 0-12, right? If you have Bryce Young versus CJ Stroud in week 10, when they're both 0-10 and they both suck and no one cares about the game, no one's going to watch the game. But week 1, when it's, fresh, new, brand new faces, everyone's excited, that's when they show off this game. So this is probably week 1, this game right here. Number 9, Cincy at Jacksonville. This will be a primetime game, which will most likely be, I would say, roughly a Thursday or a Monday night game. And this right here, I really think Cincy's going to blow them out. I don't know why, I just have this weird feeling at all the games this year, right? I'm like, okay, these are going to become good games, close games, whatever. I just had this weird feeling. And you can quote me on this as of May 5th, 2023. I have this weird feeling this game's going to be 49-7. I don't know when it's going to be. Most likely this type of game, Jacksonville and Cincy, based on the fact that Jacksonville barely made the playoffs last year and got kind of lucky to make the playoffs, my guess is it's going to be kind of earlier in the season, probably like week 3 or week 4. I think this is going to be an absolute blowout by Cincy. It's going to be like an embarrassment too. This might actually derail Jacksonville's season a little bit because of that. But that's number 9. Number 8, Patriots at Raiders. I get the whole point of, Jimmy G playing against Bill Belichick again. But the Patriots kind of suck. They're kind of not a good team. And I don't think they're going to be any better this year other than the fact they did draft probably, arguably, the best cornerback in the NFL draft and got him at pick 16. Actually, no, pick 14. But even with that being said, I don't understand why this is going to be a really crazy game other than, how last year's game ended with Chandler Jones having the pick 6 because for some reason they decided to throw the pitch the ball backwards on the final play of the game. Other than that, I can't see why this could be a good game. If Jimmy G is playing, and again, this probably will be an earlier game in the year because Jimmy G could get injured and they want to sell tickets for this game, this is probably going to be a 24-10 Raiders win the game. I'm not expecting too much from this game at all. Like, this is going to be a Raiders domination game. And maybe that's also another reason why it's going to be a great game. You're going to see, Tom went to Tampa Bay, dominated Bill, showed why he's good without Bill, and now Jimmy G is going to dominate Bill again, but this time in the Raiders Stadium. I'll be interested to see if this game is even that interesting. All right, Jacksonville at Buffalo. This game's going to be interesting because I feel like Jacksonville is going to upset them. This is a game that Buffalo can easily lose. And we saw it last year where they almost lost to the Lions on Thanksgiving. They had a couple other games where they were just very close games where you're like, why are you playing this game so close? Why is this game not a blowout? This team should not be this close. This is a game where Jacksonville comes into town. Maybe this is after they get blown out by the Bengals. They play against the Buffalo Bills. Bills are cocky. They're undefeated at that time. Jacksonville comes into town and disrupts the whole motion and beats them here in Buffalo. I think this is a game Jacksonville could win. 6. Miami versus the Chargers. This should be a really good game. Tua Tagovailoa versus Justin Herbert. This should be a really good back and forth type of game. Tua can stay healthy for the whole entire season. This might be a game we see in like week 8 or week 9. When the playoffs start, really start talking about, not talking about the playoffs, but when the playoff seeding starts getting revealed and they're saying like, oh, listen, this is what could happen. This is a game I see maybe in week 11. Maybe week 11, because both these teams should be good next year. Both these teams should be pretty good next year. So this might be like a week, I'm going to say a week 15 game, actually. I think this is right around the playoffs. Not in the playoff atmosphere, but maybe like, right around that playoff. Week 12 to week 15, I think. This is when a game should happen like this. This should be a good game. Ooh. This is going to be one of those interesting games. Eagles at Jets. Rodgers versus Jalen Hurts. This is going to be an interest. I can't wait to see this game. This game will probably be early in the season, though. Just in case Rodgers doesn't work with the Jets and, this ends up becoming a clusterfluff. I think this game happens earlier in the season. But this is going to be a really good game. I cannot wait to see this one. That Eagles team is freaking... It's like right now, if you guys remember back to the Dream Team 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 with Michael Vick with the Eagles back in the day. And Michael Vick, Nani Yashimura, Deshaun Jackson. You guys remember what I'm talking about. Was it Asante Samuel too? Yeah. Anyway, so this is that, Eagle squad, right? And then at the same time, on the AFC-wise, this is that Eagle squad for the Jets. So, this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a good game. I can't wait to see that game. All right. Cowboys versus 49ers. I'm not really interested too much in this game. I mean, it's going to be a decent game, don't get me wrong. I think the 49ers defense is going to dominate. But I really think this year the 49ers offense is going to take a step back. And I think they're going to really suffer a lot from what last year, how good they were. And this year I think they're going to take a step back and not do as great. But I think the Cowboys in general are going to be the Cowboys about things. This is going to be the end of the year type of scenario. This is probably going to be like a week 15 game. This is going to be, listen, both these teams making the playoffs. This is going to decide how the wild card gets set out. So this is going to be probably the end of the year type of game. 3, Buffalo against the Jets. I like it. This is probably going to be... Okay, so this is obviously a divisional matchup. This is in Buffalo, though. So, this is probably like a week 17, week 18 game. This is probably going to decide how the playoffs end up going. Or who wins It could be possibly who wins the division. This could be a week 18 game to see who wins the division. That would be an interesting game. Week 1, first game of the season, Thursday Night Football, first game. I know Tom disagreed with me before, but I think this is the first game of the season. This is Thursday Night Football. Keep in mind, the Chiefs have to start off the season, right, playing at home. Every Super Bowl team that wins starts the season off playing in their house. The only team that did not do that in history was the Ravens, because the Baltimore Orioles had a game that day and they could not actually push it forward. So the Ravens, after they won the Super Bowl, they put in Denver the first game in the season. They didn't play at home. They played in Denver and they got smacked up 49-7. But this game has to be in KC, the first game in the season. And I was thinking, who else could this game be? Looking at, Kansas City's opponents. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is 1,000%, in my opinion, I think this is going to be... Wait. No, okay. I thought it said the schedule was released for a second. I was like, hold up. But yeah, this is 1,000% going to be a game. It's going to be the first game of the season. Right now, here's all the games it could be. Okay, could be the Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, Bills, Bengals, Miami, Bears, Lions, and Eagles. So the first game of the season could be Eagles, Chiefs. That's possible. It could be the Bengals. Bengals would sell a lot of tickets, right? Money. Could be Buffalo. It's not going to be Broncos. It's not going to be Chargers. It's not going to be Raiders. I think Bills, Bengals, Dolphins, and Eagles are the only teams it could be. And number one is obviously that game. So it's one of those games. It's one of those teams. Eagles, Dolphins, Bills, or Bengals. I think it's going to be the Bengals week 1. Because I just think that would sell so many tickets. And I think this game right here is going to be like week 5. Week 5, week 6. I think it's going to be one of the kind of mid-season kind of jolt people up, get people excited. But with that being said, guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. Which game are you most excited for? I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.